Hi. Whew. Well, my name is Jana, and wow, it has been eventful. First of all, let me show you my new addition. If you can see her, there she is. She's sleeping. And she came here on her own deal. Let me explain. That hour-long video I made about hypnobirthing, trying to be prepared, having a birth plan. My husband says it helped me probably more than I realized. But this is what I will tell you happened. I was ready to get her out. So I started to try natural remedies to try to get her out. I now feel selfish. I guess I guess some moms do, some don't. When you're just kind of, I had been through so much, I was just ready to meet my daughter. So I wanted to see her, and I wanted to hold her, and I wanted to know she was okay. So I told you in another video, I tried sex, EPO, red raspberry leaf tea, a few other things. Well, yeah, I think that was it. Oh, I showed you my hypnobirthing book, my prayer book. I had made a birth preference. Let me tell y'all, that went out the window. And let me explain why. My intentions were to have her natural. And I'm laughing, and I bet y'all think that didn't happen. Well, I did have her natural. I had her natural. I had her so fast, I didn't have time to not have her natural. And this is what happened. On what day was that? On September 20th, in the morning. Yeah, September 20th in the morning. I took some castor oil. I was not going to, but I went ahead and took some. They gave me the runs, and after I was done going to the bathroom, I tried to keep myself hydrated. I tried to make sure that I was hydrated. I had contractions, and they were fairly regular. They were like 3-4 minutes apart. And I went to the hospital and found out that I was dilated, but only 1 centimeter. So I got home later on that night, and I was like, damn, I really thought the castor oil was going to work. And I was like, I guess if the castor oil didn't work, then she's not ready. So I had decided that, I had decided earlier in the day I was going to take 2 doses, 12 hours apart. So I had taken it at like 9 o'clock on the 20th that morning. And then, well, it was like 9:45-ish. And so I took some before I went to bed. So needless to say, I was up most of the night using the bathroom. But I was like, well, I was going to still try. Maybe to get those contractions back that I had. And I woke up the next morning, started having contractions, and They were kind of uncomfortable, kind of not. Felt like period cramps. I really don't even get period cramps. So the fact that it felt like period cramps was kind of new for me because I just don't get them. And I got up to use the bathroom, got up to um, move my bowels, and uh, I got up a couple of times, and my husband kept looking at me real strange, going back and forth to the bathroom. And he was like, "Do you want to call the hospital?" I was like, "No, not really." So went to the bathroom a couple times, and I kept having to pee. I was done having my bowel movements. I kept having to pee, and I was like, I just got off this toilet, and um, I got on the toilet one more time to pee, and my contractions, or power surges, or pressure waves, or whatever gentle birthing or hypnobirthing wants to have you call them, they were coming. I was 1 centimeter the night before, and before I kept going back and forth to the bathroom having to pee. I had laid back down for a while actually, and I remember um, having to uh, um, kind of hum through the contractions. And that's when my husband, he was like, "Are you sure you don't want to call the hospital?" And I was like, not yet. Um, so I kept having to hum through them. I don't know if you look at other videos and whatnot, they'll tell you how to kind of like make noises to kind of move the baby down. Um, it's not like a scream or ah, nothing like that. It's a low tone that kind of is in the body and kind of helps with moving the baby down. So I was humming some strong hums. And so anyway, so I was on the toilet and I was trying to pee, and the after that I kind of just sitting there because they were kind of coming. They were really really close, and I was timing them, and it got to a point where I was like, I can't time these no more. I was like, they are strong and they are close. Bottom line, they were so close. I tried to get off the toilet. I went to wipe myself. Water broke. I was trying to call my husband because he had just walked out of the room to go walk the dogs. And when he came back in, I was like, we gotta go. He called, so I was like, call the hospital, tell him we're coming. He was trying to call the hospital, that military hospital. Jesus. By the time they got through asking him every question under the sun, I was like, I need you to call 911. And he hung up the phone, called 911. I was like, this baby is coming. From the time he called 911, I was on the toilet and couldn't get off. When I say I couldn't get off the toilet, I couldn't get off the toilet. He kept trying to tell me to get off the toilet, and I was trying. I was trying to get to the bed because she was coming. She was coming. I didn't know how many centimeters I had dilated, so I kept feeling this urge to push, and they tell you that, if you're not fully 10 centimeters dilated, don't push. So I was trying not to. However, the body has what's called NER, a natural explosive reflex or expository reflex, whatever. My body was doing that. It was trying to push her out. No matter how much I was trying to keep in my mind, well, I don't know how far I'm dilated. I need to try not to push. I was trying to pant. And yeah, she was coming. I heard the operator on the phone because my husband put her on speakerphone, and she kept saying, "You gotta get her off the toilet. You don't want her to have the baby in the toilet." So I finally managed to get on the floor. I got on the floor on my all fours, hands and knees. By the time I got on the floor, I'm hollering at this point, this fast. By the time my husband called 911 to EMTs arriving, it's a matter of 5 minutes. Thank God the firehouse is up the street, literally, like in walking distance up the street. By the time he called 911 and they got here, like a matter of 4 to 5 minutes. And by the time they made it into the bathroom where uh, I was pushing. EMT got behind me and caught her, and that was that. Um, there was a point where um, when I felt the urge to push, I couldn't do nothing but push. And it happened so fast, but the pushing part, it felt right. And by the time I pushed her and got her head out, I felt better. And by the time I got her head out, I mean, my body just kind of expelled the rest of her. I mean, I don't even think I pushed to get her body out because it was happening so fast. So I had Miss Antoinette on my bathroom floor at home. Natural. No pain meds, no warning, um, no birth plan. Uh, my husband did good. He did very well. He was trying to keep me calm. I'm so glad. On Sunday mornings, my husband usually fixes breakfast, and we're usually missing a few items, so he'll go to the store and he'll go and get some stuff. Just so happens, my husband he decided, he was gonna stay close because he felt like she was coming, and so yeah, no breakfast that morning, baby. That was what we were having. And so, oh my goodness. The the pressure waves or contractions, um, they weren't that bad at first. They started to feel like very, very strong menstrual cramps. Um, it was when it was a transition period that caught me off guard. I will not lie. That was intense. That wasn't, I don't know if it was so intense because it was happening so fast, but it was intense. When I tell you, when the baby's coming, regardless of, I feel like now that I know what it feels like, if you have an epidural, like your body is still gonna do what it's gonna do. Oops. Hold on, guys. My computer is blacked out, and I gotta get it back on. But yeah. So I think regardless of whether or not you have epidural or any type of pain medication, um, when the body's ready to uh, um, go into labor, it's gonna do it. Um, it's just all on whether or not you want to feel what it feels like. I got my chance to experience natural childbirth. I must say, I didn't intend for that to happen. Obviously, not like in the bathroom. No. um, I kind of knew once my water broke that it was going to get intense, because I remember that happening with my son, and it was then I asked for medication, because once your water breaks, you don't have that cushion, and so I knew it was going to be intense, and so my water broke, and that was that. I'm gonna show y'all a video one day where I actually look like something. This whole pregnancy has been um, energy consuming, but I can't say that there is anything I would change about what happened Sunday morning. My mother-in-law was here, my brother-in-law was here, my son, he was downstairs playing video games, and my husband, he was here. And EMT got here just in time. When we got to the hospital, I had to expel the placenta because I hadn't delivered the placenta. My husband, the doctor was showing my husband, I had two stitches. Something I forgot to mention in my last video. What my husband did for a little while, he would do perineal massage to kind of stretch out the vaginal area for delivery. And I was explaining to him the other night that I got a whole lot less stitches than I did with my son. I only had 2 stitches with her. And I told him, I said it had a lot to do probably with the fact that he was doing the perineal massage, which helps stretch, that area. And so I did the perineal massage for a few weeks for like 5 minutes every night. And so the doctor, when we were in the delivery room, because I still had to go to the delivery room, get the baby checked out, and the doctor was showing him, my husband's all looking, because he didn't get a chance to see my son being born. And so the doctor was showing him, where the tear was and what he had to stitch up. And he got to watch me deliver the placenta, which I was like, I gotta push something else out. But it was I got to feel everything. That was a very interesting journey. And I'm trying not to cry. I didn't think I was going to be able to get through it. Not for the fact that it was going to be natural, but I just have other personal stuff going on. And I didn't want to be stressed trying to deliver her. And I was like, oh, me being stressed is not going to allow me to deliver her naturally. I'm not going to be able to experience it. And she's here. And she was there was a prayer that I would say every night. And in one of the prayers, it speaks of, you know, the baby being the right size to deliver. And she came out sunny side up, but the fact that I was on my hands and knees probably helped with uh, with me being able to deliver her as quickly as I did too. But she's a peanut. She's a little baby. She is 4 pounds. Well, she was 4 pounds 13 ounces when they originally weighed her, and then they put her on my breast, and I fed her for like 30 minutes, no, 25, 30 minutes. And then they weighed her again. She was like 415, so that's the weight they're going with. It's 4 pounds, 15 ounces. 17 and a half inches long. So she's a tiny thing. She's healthy, but she's tiny. And one of my prayers, it talks about, you know, the baby being the right size to be able to fit through my birth canal. And I was told with my son that my pelvis is, I have a small frame, but I'm only 4'11", and she is considerably smaller than my son. My son was 6'11", 20 inches long, and she was only 4'13", 4'15", and I think that her being so tiny actually helped with delivery. I'm sure I probably could have delivered her if she had been bigger, like 5 or 6 pounds. I probably would have had some more tears, but when I say she came, like, I felt the urge to push. I bared down, got that head out, and it felt so good. I don't understand. It was like having the largest bowel movement of your life. Try to imagine pooping out a grapefruit. That's what it felt like trying to push her head out. But it felt good as I was pushing, and it felt even better once her head was delivered. I mean, it was amazing. Oh, and she's here. She's here, natural and all. My husband, now he's making fun of me, talking about well, you wanted to deliver her natural. You got a chance to deliver her all natural. I'm like, yes, I did. I know what natural childbirth feels like. I don't know if you heard my first video about natural birth, having the birth plans and something happening where, you know, whether or not it's the health of the mom or the baby or any other event where a birth plan can go right out the window. This is one of them times. My husband was looking through the folder this morning. He was like, oh, here's the paper that says relax that you're supposed to be looking at. It's like, yeah. He pulled out the other sheet. He was like, well, this came in handy. It's like, haha. But he was like, probably subconsciously, with me doing the practicing that I had, it probably helped me more than I realized. Even though I didn't get a chance to go through labor like I had envisioned in my mind. And but he was like, it probably helped me a lot more than I realized as far as preparing for it, the breathing, because I was still actually doing the sleep breathing and the slow breathing. I was doing that, but by the time transition came, I was simply hollering, something that you probably shouldn't do, but I guess I kind of went into panic mode because I was in my bathroom. And I was like, oh my God, I'm fixing to have this baby in my bathroom. So I kind of went into panic mode until EMT showed up. And most of what happened is a blur. I just know. And I kept thinking I dropped her. I didn't realize EMT had already gotten behind me. And by the time EMT, I guess, had gotten behind me, I was pushing. And I had pushed her out. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't drop my baby. But my husband was like, no, you did not drop her. EMT was behind him and they caught her. So I guess it was just the gush of fluid that I've heard hitting the floor and the cord and all that. Who knows what I heard or didn't hear. Um, but that thing over there, this little munchkin right here, I tell you, I can't say that even though I had her in my bathroom at home, I was going to try to crawl to my bed. That was not happening. Um, uh, with all that happening in my bathroom, you can't see it, but that's the door to my bathroom right there. With all that happening in my bathroom, I cannot say I would change one thing. I feel like everything happened the way it was supposed to. Um, I felt like her size. I felt like God made her small, because I think even though I had no anticipation at the very beginning of my pregnancy to deliver natural, um, that God knows what's going to happen with us before we make any decisions. And by the time the end of my pregnancy was drawing near, I decided to want to try it for natural. And whether or not I had enough prep time, you know. But I was able to do everything I needed to do within a matter of time before she got here, and I was able to do what I needed to do when she was getting ready to show up. And now she's here. There she is. And my husband and son cannot keep their hands off of her. I try to think if I hadn't taken that castor oil, maybe I'd still be pregnant. Maybe. Maybe not. When she was delivered, I had her on Sunday, and that was a very special day for my husband, um, because of something that happened when he was deployed in Afghanistan. So he it was a tragic day that something happened with my husband on the 21st of September. But with the birth of his daughter, I think the tables have been balanced, and I was kind of hoping she'd be born on the 21st. And at the very beginning of me trying to do the natural thing and making that decision, I had made in my prayer, I was claiming that I would go into labor on the 21st and have her on the 21st. I was being very specific with God that I wanted to deliver her on the 21st for my husband. And then I decided, I was like, she'll come when she comes. And then I decided to try the castor oil. And here she is. So I just wanted to give you guys an update, and of course I've had no sleep, and she has been eating her butt off. I've been trying to make her eat because she's so tiny, and she'll probably wake up shortly. Oh. And my dogs are going crazy. And there she is again. It's now chilling, napping. Ooh, I'm dreaming. She's a peanut. So, for those of you who don't think you can do it naturally, you probably can. I think I'm a person who has a high tolerance for being uncomfortable or pain or whatever you want to call it. Birth is a different subject matter in and of itself when it comes to that. What is going on over here? What you doing? I know you ain't hungry again. But women have been delivering babies for a long time. If you feel like you can do it, try. All you can do is try. But I know I wanted to, and I got a chance to, and I'm glad that I did. I'll probably come back in a few weeks with a little update on Miss Antoinette. She's a very long name. Everybody's like, why is her name so long? But that's my munchkin. So, anyway, I am very glad to have shared this video with you guys. I had a very short time to prepare for natural childbirth, and prepared or unprepared, it happened. I was able to go through natural childbirth. I had no choice, really. So, I would like to say that since I had a short time to prepare, it can be done. But then again, like I just said, I had no choice. I had no choice. So, take that for what it's worth. If you feel like you, at the last minute, want to try natural childbirth and you don't think you have enough time, all you can do is practice and try. You might surprise yourself. You really might. So, I'm going to go so I can take care of this dumb munchkin because she over here squirming. And my milk has just come in. And oh my God. For those of you who are previous parents, you know what that feels like. So, we're going to go. But I'll be back. I hope that this has been encouraging, if nothing else. Natural childbirth. It can happen. If you want it, you can do it. You guys be blessed and take care.